Okay, for this next video, you're going to go to the same website. You're going to go to n2y.com. You're going to go over and sign in, unless you're already signed in, which is fine. And then put in the same password. I didn't come out of it, so you don't have to come out of it either, but you know. And then we're going to go over here to these ons again. And you're going to go down to News to You. Okay, from here, there are some really great stories that you can go to. So, and we do these a lot. The kids are very familiar with them. You can go to Current Issues. Okay, and we have, you know, a regular level, a higher level, a simplified level, advanced, and text only. You know, run through these and see what you like. Most of ours I do on simplified, but sometimes I go to regular. It kind of depends on what the topic is. If the topic is a little bit harder to understand, then I might go to simplified. If it's a little bit easier to understand, then I might go to regular. We just kind of play it by ear. So here are two fun stories, one about March Madness, which I realize is probably a little bit out of date, and one about amazing young athletes. I have not read this story yet, so we'll just open it and read it together. I think this is on the regular level. So the U.S., has many young athletes. Some athletes are amazing in their sports. These athletes now include tennis player Coco Gauff and skateboarder Tom Schaar. And then you have an arrow over here, so it's going to go to another page. I'm not going to read it to you because you can read, but then there's an arrow, so it's going to go to another page. Same thing. Same thing. So this one is kind of long. Some of them are long, some of them are short. And you can do this in sections. You know, you don't have to do the whole thing all at one time. We don't. If it has this many pages to it, we don't. We do a page or two a day. And work on this over the course of a week. I keep going. My goodness, this one does have a lot. So yeah, this is where like I would, you know, definitely stop and do this one on just a day by itself. So like I say, don't feel like you have to do this all at one time. You know, we do this one on another day. It just keeps going. This is a good one because you can work on it all week. Talks about tennis courts and skate parks, and we've actually already talked about skate parks before in another activity that we've done. So this one also, this gives a little recipe of a little activity that you could do. So if you're, you know, into wanting to do that at home, if you have, you know, siblings or friends that might want to do it with them or whatever. Some jokes. Our kiddos love jokes. So you just keep scrolling through this, you know, this arrow over here. So this is a good vocabulary page. And then here's a good review page. Okay. A puzzle. Sudoku, y'all, I don't even know how to do this, so we haven't done these before with our students because I don't even know how to do this. Not sure what's coming next. Well, I'm not sure what that is. Oh. You can print these out and cut them out for choices for the review page. You know, I don't know that that's necessary for our students because the choices are right there on the review page, but it's available. From here, you can also go over to here and you can print these out if you want. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. Let me show you real quick. This was current issues. This is updated every, I think every 2 weeks, maybe every week, but I think they alternate. So there's one updated every week, but they stay on for 2 weeks. I'll show you the simplified version though. So you can see how much simpler that is than the other one. There probably aren't as many pages either. Or maybe there are. Oh, there you go. See, there aren't as many pages on that one. It's a little bit simpler. But it still has the little activity with it. It gives, you know, good instructions. So the activity is a little bit more in depth, but the story is a little shorter. Still have jokes. We love jokes. Vocabulary. And a review page, but it only has 3 questions instead of 5. We usually do the one with 5 questions, but sometimes we don't if we do the simpler version. Again, you can go over here and then go to print if you want to print it. Okay, another thing that I want to show you real quick, you can go to breaking news. Okay, and so on breaking news, there are a lot of choices. So you have world news, you have sports news, and you have entertainment news. So you have some good things like cherry blossoms blooming, the debate in Washington, coronavirus closings, NASA is hiring astronauts, you know, all these things, tornado in Nashville. We certainly don't go through and do all of these, but like breakfast is important. You know, that's one that we would do. We've done some of these. We did the astronaut returns to Earth. That was a fun one. Anyway, so I'm just going to show you, let's do the most, well, let's do the coronavirus closings, since that's why we're doing this. Okay, so this one just gives, you know, it's very simple, doesn't have the pictures. But then once you push that arrow, you go kind of to the one that you want to. So you can choose, and you know, it may be for some students you do, like in our class, some students have just the words, some students have the more complicated version with pictures, and some students have the simpler version with pictures. It just sort of depends on what we're doing. So anyway, you can see how you can go through that with your student. But you can pick any of those activities to do depending on how, you know, how much you want to do and how much you don't. So world news, sports news, so March Madness is canceled. You know, you can go through these. And entertainment news. Fun activities at home. So let's look at those real quick, because this is super relevant to us right now. Fun activity, you know, Leaders across the world are closing businesses and schools. Let's see what it says here. Obviously, you can tell I haven't looked at these. Okay, leaders are closing businesses and schools. They're trying to stop the coronavirus. People must stay at home, but you can do fun activities at home. You can do schoolwork. You can cook or do chores, play board games, draw pictures, read books, do puzzles, and more. What fun activities do you do at home? You know, and then here's your little review page. So anyway, if you go to breaking news and current issues, those are where you get your stories. Those are where you get your stories, okay? The next thing that I want to show you is Joey's Locker. Our kids really enjoy these activities, and you can see that they use vocabulary from some of the stories. So this set uses vocabulary from March Madness, and this set uses vocabulary from the Amazing Young Athletes. But all of these games, our friends really love the memory game, the quiz. They really like the quiz. Build a Word and Flight School. We haven't done the others so much, but they really enjoy these. So those are just some fun things that you can do for right now. I'm hoping to make a video later this afternoon with a St. Patrick's Day story. And there are some other things on here as well, but we're going to go through those at another time. So I hope that wasn't too fast. I hope you're all good. Please let me know if you have any questions.